Welcome to City on Board. In this episode, we will talk about the most crowded city in Canada. So, without further delay, let's jump into the video. Canada is one of the largest countries in the world, with more than 38.5 million population. Though Ottawa is the capital city, Toronto is the largest and most crowded city in Canada, with more than 2.93 million people living there. As we know, Canada is an immigrant-friendly country, and we can call Toronto the immigrant hub for immigrants from across the world. The diverse population of Toronto reflects its current and historical role as an important destination for immigrants to Canada. More than 50% of residents belong to a visible minority population group, and over 200 distinct ethnic origins are represented among its inhabitants. While most Torontonians speak English as their primary language, over 160 languages are spoken in the city. Toronto is a prominent center for music, theater, motion picture, and television production. It is home to Canada's major national broadcast networks and media outlets. Its various cultural institutions, including numerous museums and galleries, festivals, and public events, entertainment districts, national historic sites, and sports activities, attract over 43 million tourists annually. Toronto is known for its many skyscrapers and high-rise buildings, particularly the tallest freestanding structure on land in the Western Hemisphere, the CN Tower. Also, Toronto is the third largest tech hub in North America after Silicon Valley and New York City, and the fastest growing. Toronto is an international center for business and finance. Generally considered Canada's financial and industrial capital, Toronto has a high concentration of banks and brokerage firms on Bay Street in the financial district. The Toronto Stock Exchange is the world's 7th largest stock exchange by market capitalization. Canada's 5 most prominent financial institutions, collectively known as the Big Five, have national offices in Toronto. The city is an important center for the media, publishing, telecommunication, information technology, and film production industries. It is home to Bell Media, Rogers Communications, and Torstar. Other prominent Canadian corporations in the Greater Toronto Area include Magnet International, Celestica, Manulife, Sun Life Financial, the Hudson's Bay Company, and major hotel companies and operators, such as Four Seasons Hotels and Fairmont Hotels and Resorts, CN Tower, Royal Ontario Museum, Ripley's Aquarium, Art Gallery of Ontario, Street Lawrence Market, Casa Loma, City Hall, and Nathan Phillips Square are notable and famous tourist spots. York University, Ryerson University, University of Toronto, and Trent University are the top-rated university in Toronto. Toronto has top-rated colleges also. Seneca College, Centennial College, Humber College, and George Brown College are a few of them. Let's talk about the living cost in Toronto. Toronto scores very well on international cost of living rankings. The reason this is significant is that different communities in Toronto are at varying degrees of affordability. That means you can find a community that suits your lifestyle and budget needs. A single person estimated monthly costs are $1,000 to $1,200. Family of 4, estimated monthly costs are $4,700 to $5,000 Canadian dollars. Transportation is an essential aspect of life in Toronto and will likely be one of the most significant expenses you incur. The city has a population of 2.93 million. It spans over 600 square miles, so getting around can be difficult without a car. Luckily, public transit is available throughout the city, and it's possible to get some form of public transit from almost every neighborhood in the city. The TTC, Toronto Transit Commission, operates buses, streetcars, subways, and a commuter rail network in Toronto. It comprises 6 subway lines with more than 250 stations throughout the city, bus routes serving 1,100 bus stops, and 4 streetcar routes. The TTC offers adult and student fares depending on age or student status. and passes are also available for frequent riders. In addition, Presto cardholders can get reduced rates for travel on all TTC services, except for express buses. Presto cards are available at most TTC stations or retailers in Greater Toronto. Regarding the average monthly cost of living in Toronto, you might think it's comparable to other large cities like New York or London. But suppose you're considering a move to Toronto. In that case, it's essential to know how it compares to other cities and what you can expect regarding the cost of living. Housing and transportation costs are higher than they are in both London and New York. When it comes to utilities, they're pretty low when compared to most American cities. However, they can still be expensive enough to impact your budget. Lastly, the cost of living in Toronto will vary depending on where you live. The suburbs will be substantially cheaper than living in an urban. That was all about Toronto. Let us talk about your city. Comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe.